Larry, what can I do for you?
Good morning.
Welcome to Handel on the Law.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
We wanted to get your thoughts on potential causes of action and particularly recommendations what you would do under a similar circumstance to have some accountability. It involves a problem with the United States Postal Service, fixed brick-and-mortar office. My wife and I are senior citizens. My wife and I have had a post office box rented there for over 30 years. Over the years, there have been occasional problems with them not properly or quickly enough crediting payments made for the annual fees to rent the box, and those always have been able to be resolved with a phone call to the office. This year, the rent was due by December 31st, and my wife mailed it in a return envelope they had put in the mailbox to pay the rent on December 3rd. When the check had not been cashed for the rental payment toward the end of the month, we both started trying to call the post office maybe between 30 to 40 times. The calls were never answered with one exception. When the call was answered and I said hello, the person on the other end of the line hung up. My wife has a mobility issue, so she asked me to go into the post office to try to resolve the matter. On December 29th, I went in, waited approximately 40 minutes in line. It's a very dysfunctional operation. When I got to the window, I explained why I was there and provided a copy of the letter my wife had sent in with the payment saying credit this to the box, etc. And I said I was there to see if they could locate the payment and get it processed. The gentleman was extremely hostile, the employee, and he said he would discuss nothing about the box because I had not personally rented the box. I explained I received mail there. The memo my wife had sent with the check had both of our names on it. I said, I don't need any information about the box. I'm just asking you to find where the payment that was mailed in 3 weeks ago is so we can get the box paid so you don't close it for non-payment. The gentleman then was extremely hostile. He ordered me at one point to get away from the window, that I was questioning his integrity. I think there may have been a racial issue, and I say that with great reluctance. But to try to resolve the problem, I said, I'll pay the rent right now, which would have been the second payment. He accepted that payment and then directed me to go into another line to try to resolve the issue of where the first payment was. In that line, people had just an array of problems, including a woman who they had closed her mailbox on December 29th, although the rent wasn't
all right,
due
Larry,
till the 31st.
This is going way, way long. So basically,
let me get right to the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
What would you do to have some accountability and to resolve it?
So here you go. You got into it with the guy at the post office who treated you badly, and he says you treated him badly. And why? Two questions. Why didn't you just pay the whole amount and then worry about it later? That's question number one. Okay.
I did.
So you got your box.
Yeah, I finally got the rent paid.
So you have your box. So now.
The first payment's never been accounted for.
Okay, I got it. So you cash the check or you put a stop payment on it or whatever. Then the question is, when you want accountability, what are you thinking of in terms of accountability?
I'd like to have the post office is totally dysfunctional. They refuse to even say who the postmaster is.
Yeah, then I don't know if they have to tell you that, but if they're going to say, well, we told them, and they're going to lie through their teeth. You can find out who the postmaster is of that just by doing a little research. That's not a problem. And once you find that out, then you make a formal complaint. Now, do you want to take it legally? I don't know what your damage is. I mean, this is one of those where you simply make the phone calls and you put in complaints, and they have a process for that. And frankly, if they blow you off and you don't go, then you got a couple of choices. Let me tell you what I would do, because the other way is just a huge hassle. One, you change post offices, although that would be a huge hassle because you got a P.O. box and everybody knows what your address is. Two, whenever you show up there, you make sure you go to another line and you never run into this guy again. And if you see him and he's the only one, you turn around and you come back later. That's all you can do, other than putting in a formal complaint and then laying it out chronologically like you just did. Is saying this happened on this date, this happened, and hope that the postmaster actually gives a damn. But if the postmaster really likes this guy, and of course he's going to tell a totally different story than what you're going to do, what you're going to say, then you got to live with him. because there's nothing you can do. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do except get pissed off.
To whom would you make the complaint?
Postmaster. The postmaster of that post office. And then if you don't get any satisfaction, you go up from there. And just start berating everybody in terms of a complaint. Now, it may reach a point where your complaint has been blown off and you've got no place to go. You're done. But I see how angry you would be. You are. I would be too. I'd be pissed off.
Is there any possibility they have video and audio of the post office?
No, they're not going to. No, they do. They have security video and audio, but they're not going to deal with that. Larry, they're not going to do that based on a complaint that you got an altercation with this guy and he was rude and you were rude. That ain't going to happen. Unfortunately, it's a big deal for you because you were treated like crap. It is not a big deal for them. They don't give a rat's about Larry, who he is, and what happened usually. Now, you may have a postmaster who does care and is going to do something about it.
Is there any way to trigger a disciplinary investigation?
Yeah, you can try by making a complaint, Larry. That's what you want to do. That's how you trigger it.
Got it.
Now, by the way, if he has other complaints and not just you, because he sounds like the kind of guy who treats a lot of other people badly, too. This is one unhappy camper.
Yes.
All right. So that's all you can do. I can understand being angry. I get it. I mean, I'd take a knife to his tire and just... No, I can't say that. Well, I can say that, but yeah, okay.